evening,
Good
everyone.
evening.
Welcome to our show. The topic tonight is a great one. We're talking about the difference between busy and productive. There is a difference, and we're going to get right into it. My name is Carl.
And I'm Nicole.
And we are Around the Leaf Consulting. And we're excited to be able to provide these kind of videos for you. We've gotten great feedback. Remember, you can click in the description at the end and find the seed starters. Get on the list. We're putting out great content. You're not going to want to miss that.
Yes. It's all about motivation and getting to your goal and having that positive feed in your life.
Yes. If you want to crush it this year, get on that list. We're going to be sending out all these checklists. Awesome. So, yesterday we talked about kind of learning how to feed your goal. And today we're talking about, sometimes when we're trying to feed that goal ends up making us simply busy instead of productive.
Yeah, I think there's it's an interesting concept because you think you're doing something, right? You have your mind is going 10 million miles an hour and or a minute, and you are bogged down with all these things on your mind. Like, I have to get this done, I have to get that done, and I'm always doing something, and I have no time in the day to do this, and I have no time in the day to do my personal responsibilities. I have no time in the day to do my business responsibilities. And some of us are in school, so I have no time to do school on top of that. But then when you actually reel it back and really look at the situation and write down the tasks that you are doing, you'll find that you're not doing much. You're just busy.
Yep.
You're not being productive.
Yeah, so in researching kind of and looking into this, reviewing notes and content that we already know, there's a lot of vague jargon out there as to what the difference is. But we're going to break it down to very simple. Sometimes when you give too vague, you're like, well, wait, that could be me, that might not be me. It's kind of like reading your horoscope. It could be you, and all the other however many billion people share that sign with you, right?
Yeah.
But so busy really is, it really feels and looks like you're busy. There are, it's constantly on your mind of just, my goodness, the time. I don't have a lot of time to get this done. I need to get this for my boss.
Hi, Kelly.
Hello, Kelly and Clifford.
And Clifford's here. Welcome.
And I think there's a few others in the room. Feel free to give a shout out that you are here.
Let us know you're here.
Yes, and thank you for sharing this, the post, Kelly. So busy just really feels that it's busy, but it's really usually tied to the fact, an element of time. There's a time restraint somehow put to whatever goal or constraint that you're trying to accomplish. And what ends up happening is, in certain cases, you can just be making yourself busy instead of actually productive.
So you're saying basically you get wrapped up in the fact that there's a deadline and you feel like you need to be busy?
Yes.
Like you feel like there's this crushing deadline, so you just do anything to make it feel like you're getting towards that deadline, or? Well,
not so much that kind of aspect of time. I guess it can be misleading. It's really the fact that the focus is on the time. Or the restraint, or the deadline, instead of the proficiency or the accomplishment or the domination of whatever goal you're after. So it's more of sliding in to get it done instead of getting it done well. And there's many different aspects and things that cause that, and most of them are ourselves. Actually,
Always.
probably about 90% of the
Always.
reason that things are seemingly busy is our own doing.
Well, it's just you're inundated with all these different thoughts of what you need to get done. In that instance, and I'm trying to wrap my head around that concept, is it that, like I said, like that you're so focused on everything that needs to get done that you forget to be efficient, or that setting that deadline and having that deadline makes you procrastinate more?
It's an element of what ends up happening is that when you're busy, you realize that you have a lot of priorities. All of a sudden, everything seems to be priority. Whoa, man, I need to get that done because that is due here. And that's due at this time. So that should be done first, but this is second. And oh my goodness, I've got no time to get all of this stuff done. And it's really on the, again, it's the focus is on the time element of it, or the lack of time, as if time is a fleeting commodity or a fleeting resource. You know, there's always more time, I guess.
So in a way, you're kind of getting like emotionally hijacked.
Yes.
By that stressor.
Yes.
That you don't really you're not even like working efficiently. You're not working effectively. In fact, like we explained on the other show that we had, emotional hijacking actually lowers your IQ level. So when you are focused on that time, when you are focused on that deadline, you're actually working stupider. With less of an IQ than if you were actually just focusing on the tasks at hand.
Wow. Yes, and this is very true. Welcome,
Hi,
Dean. And thank you, Penny, for sharing this video. Dean, either you got off of work early or we'll leave it at that. So the element of the concept of busy is really is where your
Angel's
focus
here.
is.
Hi, Angel.
Hey, how's it going? It's really where your focus is. And that's really the biggest difference between busy and productive is where your focus is. So your focus is on big goals, and your focus is on, not taking on misaligned projects.
Okay.
That would be distracting, And so, we're trying to fit everything.
I'm really good at that.
Thing in. I think everyone is. Hey, Julia, and still at work. This is my background music. All right, we'll try to keep it in a singing songy kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're not trying to. We're not trying. You're not trying to take on any goals just for the fact of, because a lot of times we're unmotivated by the goal that we're after. And so we distract ourselves, and that's what we kind of talked about yesterday, is we find these simple distractions to pull our attention away from the goal, right? And then we're working.
Oh, they'll find us.
Right. These distractions will find us,
Yeah.
right? Needing juice or different things like that, right?
Well, a lot of times it's not
youngest.
even a
Hey, Jasmine.
That's hey Jasmine. That's our biggest distraction here at the house is the kids needing juice all the time. So it's a running joke. What was I gonna say? What topic were we on?
Man, we were talking about misaligned projects and distractions. We were talking about distractions.
Like a lot of times it's not even a conscious thought to, hey, let me go ahead and distract myself and do this. It's more of a actually, now that I'm going in this route, I'll go ahead and take it here. It's more about not having a specific. It could be about not having a specific path to that goal, so that when you look at that goal, you're like, I need to achieve that goal. So you stay busy thinking you're going towards that goal, but because you haven't set up a path that can be executed in steps, you start looking around and finding other things you need to work on. Yeah. Because what happens is whenever you're going towards a goal, your mind is like, you need to be busy, you need to be busy, you need to be productive, you need to do this, you need to do that. But if you're not working towards that specific goal, other goals will find you. All those little things that are in your mind, like, oh man, I forgot to do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. So all of those things will like compile in your mind and just kind of start, forming a loop that you don't want to be in, when you should be clear about what you're going to be doing. A, B, C, D.
Yes.
And then to your goal.
Yeah, I mean, there's the saying, work smarter, not harder. But I've found that whether you're working harder or smarter, you're still working hard. And that's really, so I think that sometimes that can be misleading. Like,
or you're not working hard enough.
You're not working hard enough, sure. I mean,
if you're working smart and you're not working hard, then you could be working harder.
Yes, this is fair. This is fair. So, and what we talked about yesterday, which is really important, is being very specific about your goals. Because what you were saying is that, especially if a goal is very vague or it's misleading or it's kind of it can then venture off and you go on these tangent goals. Yes. And you lose track of the other goal. And then that is why you're worried about deadlines, because now you've procrastinated on this goal that may have a deadline. Whether it's a report that needs to go into your boss, a application, a whatever.
Yeah.
We have these different things that we set ourselves, or or even if, because bouncing off of yesterday's, which is 21% approximately of people who set New Year's resolutions is on health or weight. So if you're thinking, man, I need to be this weight by spring break, right? So it's like
it hijacks you.
It hijacks you, right? So you're like,
for you.
Oh well, you find these different projects that get you busy, and you forget that you need to be working out, or you're so tired you can't even wake up, or you
kind of fail at it. If you have a misstep in that line to the goal,
that's fair too.
Then you want to find something else, because at least then you'll still be productive. You'll still be achieving something, even though it's not necessarily the goal that you want to go towards, and you probably won't complete this side project. That's what happens. And then you start like dipping into so many different goals that you're lost in the whole process. And you're now inundated with the pressure of getting these things done when this goal is still not being done, because you're being busy just trying to prove to yourself that you can be busy when you should be being productive, which means clear, concise steps towards your goal.
Absolutely. I mean, and that's one thing is on the concept of busy to productive. Some people say that busy is trying to multitask all these different goals at one time. And that's what it is. It's like one goal, you're striving towards one goal until it kind of has a little bit of a misalign or a fail, right? And then you kind of, okay, we'll wait on that one, right? Maybe it's not the right time, and you go to another one and you start that project or that goal, and you get to a certain part, you get some conflict, you put that one on pause. And then when you look at a balcony view, you're like, my goodness, I have all these things happening. I'm so busy right now. Yeah. And the reality of it is that there was not a clear-cut direction in any of those goals.
Yes.
And any goal, I'm telling you this, any goal that you set, you will reach a moment of failure. Any goal. If you don't, it was too easy, and you're not going to be fulfilled. Yeah. So, and then you're going to be sitting there, well, I got that done. Woo! And then it's over, right? So, if you're setting the right goals and you have that motivation, write down goals. We talked about that yesterday too, and have talked about that in a couple different episodes, is the importance of writing things down. And you don't just want to write down a goal that you can't dictate or control. An example, I want to be 15 pounds lighter or lose 15 pounds. The problem with that is at any given moment throughout the day, a person's body weight changes throughout the day. So if you want to, the right goal is things that you can control, like what foods you're eating, or what people you're hanging out, what places you drive past, or what places you go into. Those are the things that you can control, not your weight. So if your goal is more to adopt a healthy lifestyle or to hang out with people who are aligned with eating healthier or at healthier places, then it's going to be easy. Because once, let's say you've lost 15 pounds. Well, then what happens? Nothing.
Yeah.
Typically what happens? You gain it back.
Sure.
So, right? Losing 10 pounds but gaining 12, if you set a goal, I'm going to lose 10 pounds, and you lose 10 pounds but then gain 12 back, is that an accomplished goal? It technically is. Technically, you gain that goal, you accomplish that goal of losing 10 pounds, but because you didn't think big enough or because you didn't set it to things that you can control, it comes back.
I mean, it goes right back to the whole setting success habits. So habits for success, like in his example, just the actionable items of eating healthy, and it's not, eating healthy is so vague, but literally when you're losing weight, the most important thing when losing weight in any goal really is your mindset. Yeah. Are you depriving yourself or are you achieving something? That's the question. And once you realize that you're achieving something, and you're achieving something that a lot of people can't do, and that you're proud of yourself for doing so, you start doing these actionable items over and over and over again. Meaning, for example, eating healthy, exercising. Those actionable items start to become actionable, success habits.
Yes.
So, and those habits transfer into other parts of your life. It's not only losing weight, because then other goals will be easier to attain as well, because you'll have found the formula that works for you. So even if it's a financial goal, if it's a business goal, if it's a personal goal, the more you exercise these actionable habits that lead to the long-term goal, the more you will create habits that are success-driven and positive in your life.
Yes. Success-driven. Make a T-shirt, right? Success-driven. And that's what it is. The more specific you are, the more explicit you are in what that goal is and what it means to you, and what the goal of that goal is to, what is the purpose of that goal? What's the purpose of your goal? That's more tangible than just something that's not controlled by you, which oftentimes that's how we set our goals. We these big things, why. I'm going to work at such and such place by this time. Well, there's other elements there. Awesome. Thanks, Jasmine. She'd buy that shirt.
We're making this shirt. I'm not kidding.
No, we are developing a shop. So
we'll do it.
And slightly lost my train of thought, but that's okay. We're just gonna go with it. No, be explicit with your goals. Write them down where you can see them every morning. Don't necessarily just jump up and grab your phone and check to see if so-and-so liked what you did or shared or whatever, right? Or your favorite person that you follow on social media has again posted their 50th photo of the day. You want to make sure that you're aligned with your goals first. Read your goals. What is your goals for the day? Or before you go to sleep, write them out what your goals are for the next day.
What I've done in my phone, because I know that my phone is the first thing I grab in the morning, because I know, if someone's calling me or texting me or whatever, the first thing I do is grab my phone. But I set myself up to where I can't look at anything until I look at my notes on my phone, and my notes has my I guess positive affirmations.
Positive affirmations, yep.
Positive affirmations, and it has my goals. And then I also have a sheet of paper that I carry with me, or my little notebook, that has what I need to get done that day. And we're going to have a whole nother show about, the importance of task lists and what they kind of mean in the world. There's a lot of aha moments there. But yeah, and that way I stay productive instead of busy.
Yes.
Because there's so many things that can make me feel like, oh my gosh, I had such a long day. I did so much. Like I'm exhausted. I was at the house all day. I was with the kids. I was doing this, doing that with the business, whatever. But then at the end of the day, to write down instead of a to-do list, things that I've done list. That will show you big time if you were being busy or if you were being productive. Because if you focus on the things I have done list instead of the to-do list, then you'll get a lot more done. Because you'll be like, wait a minute, I have one thing there, and I just put all that work in. So it really helps move the day forward when you have that things I've done list.
Yes. And to Dean's point, yes, physically writing things down definitely gets, that 40 to 50% increase of productivity.
Yeah.
And remembering it triggers your brain in a specific way when you physically write something down. And there's different tech ways to do that. There's a notepad that you can write down with an actual pen.
Yes, I want to get one of those.
And it uploads to your tablet or your phone. Or the notes on your phone. There's different ways to do that,
Yeah, Dean, have you heard of that? It's an actual pen that you can write down your notes, and it transfers directly to your phone.
Yes, either in
It's
script
really cool.
written, or it will translate it into like Times New Roman.
Well, yeah, my tablet does that.
Yeah.
My tablet does but it goes word by word, so it takes forever. But yeah, I'm personally a pen and paper person myself. That's why I have a little notebook, and it goes everywhere with me. I don't use the calendar on the phone. It doesn't compute well with me. I don't follow it. I don't pay attention to it. He's the
and I'm the opposite.
Yeah,
and that's what I use.
He's a techie.
But let's. That's what we're going to talk about tomorrow. Is task lists and the effectiveness of them, how to properly write one out, what should be included, where you should include it, and
there's a lot
and how to really increase the effectiveness of your day.
Yeah, makes a big difference.
In closing, just think of it this way: the difference between busy and productive. Busy is like a squirrel looking for nuts on the ground, right? They're running back and forth between one and another. Have you ever seen that? A squirrel just running back and forth across the road. Oh, halfway, then back, forward. We're not sure. And productive is a hawk who soars above, looking specifically, or sits in the tree looking exactly of what they're going to do. Targets something, then moves.
Yeah.
Squirrel moves before it has direction, finds something based on scent in emotion, and goes after that target, whereas a hawk looks with its eyes, focuses, and then targets.
Yeah. Hey, Speck. Thanks for joining us.
And with that, again, you can stay connected with us by going to this Around the Leaf Facebook page and look in the left-hand side margin for seed starters. Get on the email list. We're sending out content, checklists, and different things like that to keep this where you can be productive every single day. And again, success-driven, all my success-driven people here. So we will see you again tomorrow. 9 p.m. right here on Facebook Live.
Yes. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
Have a good night.
Good night.